Blackhead prevention starts with patience, not force. Blackheads form when oil, dead skin cells, and everyday debris collect inside a pore, and the top of that plug darkens after exposure to air. They are not a sign that someone is dirty, and they usually do not improve when the skin is scrubbed harshly. In fact, rough treatment often leaves the skin more irritated, more reactive, and harder to manage. A calmer routine usually works better than an aggressive one. Wash the face gently in the morning and again at night with a mild cleanser and lukewarm water. Avoid very hot water, harsh scrubs, rough brushes, and the urge to attack the skin as if it were a stain that could be polished away. If makeup, sunscreen, sweat, or daily buildup is sitting on the skin at the end of the day, remove it properly before bed. Lightweight products are often a better choice for skin that clogs easily, especially around the nose, chin, forehead, and jawline. Moisturizer still matters, even when skin feels oily, because uncomfortable, over-dried skin can become more reactive. If the skin tolerates it, ingredients that help loosen clogged pores may be useful, but the real key is consistency. Starting slowly and staying steady is often more helpful than using too much too fast. Squeezing blackheads with fingernails or tools may feel productive for a moment, but it often leads to irritation, marks, and a habit of touching the face too much. Hair oils, pomades, and heavy styling products can also quietly contribute to clogged pores around the forehead and temples, so it helps to keep those products away from facial skin whenever possible. Pillowcases, hats, and phone screens do not need to become a source of anxiety, but keeping them reasonably clean supports a better environment for the skin. Blackhead prevention is not dramatic. It is a quiet habit, a calm routine, repeated long enough to help the pores stay clearer and the skin stay less irritated. And now, with that practical skincare advice tucked away neatly like a clean towel in a bathroom cabinet, let us step away from cleansers, mirrors, and cotton pads and move into the longer, warmer part of the evening, where instead of talking about pores, we find ourselves in a small American town full of pie, folding chairs, volunteer confusion, and one retired man who accidentally becomes far more important to local happiness than he ever intended. In the town of Ashbury Creek, Pennsylvania, 74-year-old Leonard Briggs believed in clear labels, sharp pencils, and leaving a place better than he found it. He also believed that most public events ran 20 minutes too long, that coffee should never taste apologetic, and that any sentence beginning with, "This will be quick," should be treated as suspicious until proven otherwise. Leonard had retired 11 years earlier from the county tax office, where he had spent most of his working life explaining forms to confused homeowners, calming irritated farmers, and maintaining the expression of a man who had seen every possible human mistake involving paper. Retirement suited him in theory. He liked the porch, the newspaper, his neat garage, and the reliable dignity of a routine that did not need anyone else's approval. He lived alone in a tidy gray house with blue shutters, a front garden of marigolds, and a porch swing that squeaked only when the weather became disrespectful. His wife, June, had died 5 years earlier. Since then, Leonard had arranged his days carefully. Up at 6, coffee at 6 to 10, paper by 6:15, toast at 7, a slow walk if the weather deserved cooperation, lunch at noon, radio after lunch, supper at 5:30, dishes by 6, porch until dark, bed by 10. It was a good life, or at least a manageable one. The trouble with a manageable life is that sometimes it becomes a little too manageable. Sometimes silence settles so neatly into the corners of a house that it starts to feel like furniture. The greatest threat to Leonard's peaceful habits was his longtime neighbor, Arlene Cooper. Arlene was 72, quick-moving, capable, and powered by the sort of civic energy that should have required a permit. She wore bright sweaters, owned at least 4 clipboards, and believed any problem could be improved by casseroles, determination, and a meeting. She chaired the church hospitality committee, helped run the winter coat drive, organized the annual used book sale, and had once corrected the seating chart at a town banquet using only a pen and moral certainty. She lived next door in a cream-colored ranch house with a red mailbox, wind chimes, and enough mums on the porch each fall to suggest she was negotiating directly with the season. On a windy Thursday afternoon in late October, Leonard was sitting on his porch with a mug of coffee and half a slice of crumb cake when Arlene marched up the walkway carrying a covered baking dish and a folder. Leonard looked at the folder and said, "No." Arlene stopped on the bottom step. "I haven't said anything. You have a folder. I also have baked spaghetti. That means the folder is serious. That means I came prepared." "For what?" "For your refusal." Leonard leaned back in his chair. "Then you understand the situation." Arlene came up the steps anyway, set the baking dish on the side table, and sat down like a woman who had never once lost an argument to furniture. "The Harvest Home evening has a problem," she said. Leonard closed his eyes for one brief second. Ashbury Creek's Harvest Home evening was the annual fall gathering in the town fellowship hall, a cheerful event featuring casseroles, local music, pies, raffle baskets, paper leaves, and enough folding chairs to seat either a church supper or a very polite emergency. "What sort of problem?" he asked. The MC backed out. "Why? His grandson has a football playoff in Harrisburg. That sounds legitimate." He also said he was not really a microphone person. Leonard nodded. "That sounds wise." Arlene ignored the comment. "So naturally I thought of you. Why would you do that?" "Because you speak clearly, people trust you, and you are funny." Leonard stared at her. "I am not funny. You are after 70, dry counts. I worked in tax records." "Exactly. You spent 40 years explaining complicated things to anxious people without setting the building on fire. You can handle a room. That is not the same as wanting one. You won't have to entertain. Just welcome people, introduce the string band, announce the raffle baskets, and keep things moving." "That sounds like work in church clothes." "That sounds like community." "That sounds like trouble wearing pie." Arlene smiled. "You'll be good. I'll be reluctant." "That is not a skill." "It should be." She tapped the folder. "I may already have written your name in pencil." Leonard stared at the baked spaghetti. "You volunteered me before I agreed?" "In pencil," she said. "I'm not reckless." "No, just efficient in a way that concerns me." "Tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. And if I refuse? I'll tell people you were intimidated by a microphone and decorative wheat." Those are not equal threats. Together they form a compelling rumor. So that was how Leonard Briggs, retired tax office man and defender of quiet evenings, became the emergency host of Ashbury Creek's Harvest Home evening. For the next 24 hours, he prepared as if he were about to testify before Congress on the subject of raffle baskets. He found his navy blazer, the one reserved for weddings, funerals, and restaurant dinners involving cloth napkins. He polished his loafers. He wrote note cards. Then he rewrote them. Then he made backup note cards in case the first set failed morally. On Friday morning, his daughter Carla called from Baltimore. "Dad," Arlene told Mrs. Voss. Mrs. Voss told Aunt Linda. And Aunt Linda told me you're hosting the Harvest Home evening. Arlene should not have access to telecommunications. Carla laughed. "You'll do great. I have 7 note cards. That means you care. I have backup note cards. That means you're still you. I also practiced pronouncing the fiddle player's last name. That means you're prepared." He practiced in the hallway mirror that afternoon. "Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Harvest Home evening. Too stiff. Hello, friends and neighbors. Too cheerful. He looked like a man trying to sell roofing supplies at a church picnic. Thank you all for coming tonight. Too vague. Coming for what? Under what emotional contract? By the sixth attempt, he had introduced himself twice, thanked the umbrella stand, and nodded respectfully at the thermostat. At that point, he decided the house had heard enough. Arlene arrived at 5:40, wearing a burgundy sweater and earrings shaped like acorns. "You look distinguished," she said. "You look supervisory," Leonard replied. "That's because I am. That's what worries me." The fellowship hall was already full when they arrived. Long tables draped in orange and brown paper cloths filled the room. Mason jars with battery candles sat beside mini pumpkins and bundles of fake leaves. Raffle baskets gleamed beneath, tight cellophane. Crock-pots lined the back counter beside green beans, casseroles, macaroni, cornbread, slaw, pies, cobblers, cakes, and 2 gelatin dishes. Leonard did not trust on visual principle. The room smelled like coffee, cinnamon, gravy, and organized effort. Retirees in cardigans sat at the front tables. Children in sweaters darted between chairs. Widowers in sport coats stood near the coffee urn discussing weather as though they had each personally approved the cloud arrangement. Mrs. Calhoun, who had strong pie opinions, stood near the dessert table with the focused seriousness of a museum curator guarding a priceless exhibit. Arlene handed Leonard the microphone backstage. "Why is this so heavy?" he whispered. "Because it contains responsibility. It contains batteries and pressure." She patted his sleeve and disappeared into volunteer motion, which mostly involved walking quickly while holding paper. Leonard stepped onto the stage. The room settled. He adjusted the microphone.